Dramatic.
Hello.
Hello. Dramatic entrance with the
I was-
countdown then. But I liked it. I do like it. I'm not going to lie. So tonight, I've got a dream team tonight. We are going to cover some serious topics. So Ben's the one that's shown us up with the background, on point avocado, even signed by him and Thomas, covering Swindon and surrounding areas. So Ben, I'm going to come to you first, and then I'm going to come and say hello to Sanjay and Elliot, because this week you've been on the radio, right? You've been on BBC.
I have, yeah, BBC Wiltshire, which was really cool, actually. For the second time, at this time I got to go into the studio, and yeah, it was really good. It was nice to have an opportunity to put our point across on mainstream media, which doesn't normally happen, let's be honest. So yeah, it was really good.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Great to see.
Thank you.
Elliot,
Hi.
Mr. Telford himself, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's been great just to get to know everyone, all the partners, and just really getting out there in Telford.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And the hoodie suits you fantastically well. It's a good look. It's a good look. We've already got a few people saying hello on YouTube, actually, for you, which is awesome. So some lovely, lovely comments from Kim.
Thank you,
checking in. I know this is definitely directed at you, and obviously your partner in crime, Matt. So amazing comments from Kim. And we've also got Kizzy, who I guess is watching from maybe Canada by the looks of the flag there.
Yeah, Kizzy is Canadian. Hi, Kizzy.
So we've gone absolutely international.
Global.
How is Telford? How is the world of Telford?
Cold, wet.
Yeah.
No, but it's really good. Telford, if you've never been, it's a really interesting place. There's such a mix of properties here, right from the cutesy cottages all the way up to the 4 or 5 bedroom detached dream homes. It's a really good community with lots of green spaces, and yeah, come to Telford. Come
and check it out.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about your hashtag. We'll talk about a few more bits, and of course the launch of your avocado business as well on this call. But I'm going to go to Sanjay next. Not seen you on a live call in a while, Sanjay. I've missed you. How are you?
I don't know what you're talking about. I was live yesterday doing a bit of portals. What are you talking about?
Well, on the Thursday night, the big place to be.
Yes, been all good. All good over in Bracknell. Things are ticking along nicely. As much as there is always doom and gloom in the property market and the media, we like to always spin, or especially me, put a positive spin on things. But yeah, other than that, all good.
Nice, yeah. And everything good with Ellen and Matt, because obviously it was Ellen's last official day, wasn't it, last week?
Official day, yes. Last official day on Friday last week, and Matt's been with us for 3 months, and we are fully rocking and rolling. Safe to say that. So super pleased about that.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Well, the first stat that I think we should talk about is the fact that we have seen and reported from August to September, got a full month's worth of data now, as we're obviously into the first week of October. But across the country, there's a 12% increase in buyer demand for people looking to obviously purchase properties. This is England data, so not the UK, but England data. I think it's good news because we have seen a little bit of these statistics where it's been reducing month on month, but to see it go over into double digits, pretty happy with that. So Ben, I don't know what you were talking about on the radio. I've not managed to catch it yet, but were they talking about buyer demand at all on the channel?
Yeah, well, it was based around like house prices, so obviously naturally you then talk about buyer demand, and we've certainly seen it down here. I think it's a case of as long as it's listed for the right price, any home is getting the good demand at the moment, and it's not sort of COVID levels, which is probably a good thing because it needed to calm down from that, but it's definitely increased. I think now the summer holidays are out the way, obviously the more stable interest rates and base rates, could I say that, I think, has also attributed to people looking a bit more in earnest, and all those people that want to be in for Christmas as well. So yeah, we've definitely seen it down here.
Yeah, okay, interesting. We've got a few people checking in. Say hello to Ryan. He is saying hello. Good to see you, Ryan. Got a question for us? Throw it in the comments. Ellen, there she is herself. Good evening to you all, with our very own emoji. as well, which we love to see. And just a reminder to everyone that is joining us, thank you. Drop us a like so we know you can hear us. And as it says on the ticker below, it's a live Q&A. If you've got a question, nothing is off. Nothing is off bars. So you've got a question, throw it at us, and we will absolutely answer it, as long as it's appropriate before the watershed, of course. So in terms of Telford, feeling like buyers, are you seeing more boards go sold up there, Elliot? What's kind of the analysis?
I would say, I mean, I've looked at the official stats, and month on month, comparable to last year, we are seeing more listings, apart from April. I'm not quite sure what happened in April, but yeah, there's definitely more activity going on. I just think it shows the confidence that's coming back into the market, especially with those mortgage rates, I think, and we're going to see more of that progressing throughout the year.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it unfolds. What about Bracknell? More registrations, more buyers looking for property, Sanjay, with you and Matt?
Yeah, I mean, you know what Bracknell's like, living on the doorstep and working in the area. But there's always going to be a high volume. It's definitely reduced. And I actually said to one of my, I was on evaluation actually earlier today, and I said to them, they were like, "Oh, what's the buyers like out there at the moment?" Because we're hearing so much stuff on the media that people are not buying because of interest rates. And I said to them, I was like, "You either get a buyer which is switched on, done their research, know exactly what they want, driven past the house, looks at the area, blah blah blah," or they call me up and they inquire about a property and they say, "What's the price of that property?" I'm like, "Just inquired about that property. Surely you should know." So the quality is like so chalk and cheese, but obviously we go with the better. So yeah, bit of both really.
Yeah. We've got John and Paul. They are joining us. They say, "Hi, is the 12% demand across the whole market, all house prices?" So yeah, this is a demand in terms of portal registrations. So the data is, this one's coming directly from Zoopla, and they're taking it based on either viewing requests, new buyers looking to request to view a property through Zoopla, or buyer registrations where people are looking to get property alerts. And that's how they take a read on it, basically. So great question. It's for England. It is across all houses and properties, leasehold flats, bungalows, and everything. Doesn't include tenants, just includes people looking to buy. So yeah, really good question. We've got another question from Ellen that I'm going to go to in just a sec. And I'm going to, just before that, throw in the second stat of the night, which we're not going to be too statty tonight. This is the last one. But I just thought, as I've just spoke to Sanjay, this is a really good one because I know he talks about this a lot. And when we looked at the top 50 estate agents in the south of England, Matt and Sanjay had the lowest amount of reductions of the top 50 agents, where they're getting the job done better than most agents, but they're doing it without having to reduce the price. This figure is the 4.2% difference between marketing price and going under offer. So effectively the average offer being accepted in the UK. And I think, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, it would have been within 1%, Sanjay, I would have thought.
Yeah, at least. Absolutely. At least. Yeah, or even it would be, well, yeah, it'd be well over. I mean, we were getting offers that were ridiculous.
Over, yeah.
I think well over. I still remember that 72 grand one I got, which was like ridiculous. Well, I think more, yeah, crazy anyway. So yeah, difference in marketing prices is it's a real battle with, if you're a homeowner and you're watching and you're listening, you're thinking, I've just had 3 valuations. I've had a valuation which is really, really high or on the high side. Then you've had a real potentially honest valuation at a lower price. It's a real battle, and I get it for sellers. And Joe, what in a where we are now, I understand the difficult decisions they've got to make, but the reality is they have to go with their gut. And I don't disrespect a seller if they're going to go on with a higher price at the moment because they want to try it. But what they have to factor in is that they may end up losing more money. They haven't done their own due diligence with that agent and the pricing, etc. So, but yeah, that's a really interesting stat.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see as well, Elliot, whether this grows, whether people are having to take bigger hits, or now we're seeing demand improve, maybe whether that will reduce or just stay around there. I mean, I think the market may be fairly static over the next 12 months, and that's a good thing. You know, it's not doing this or doing this, just fairly static.
I mean, It's hard to know what to predict, isn't it? Because things are constantly changing. There's so many variables out there that we're seeing. But like I say, it's looking very promising that mortgage rates are coming down slowly. I think it will be bit by bit. And I think that will slowly just put that confidence back. And we're getting used to a new norm. And I think people are knowing that those rates that we had, that anomaly since the 2008 crash, was just an anomaly. It's that realization that there is a new normal, but it's kind of going back to how things should have been anyway. So I think once that kind of sinks in, and people still want to move, there's still that demand out there that we're seeing, which is why in Telford we're seeing lots of new instructions coming on. Like I say, from this time last year, every month it's improving month on month. So it's positive, and I think that's the way to look at it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think a good way to look at it for sure. Ben, I'm going to ask you for this advice. I've got some really good questions coming in. We've got Ben on LinkedIn saying hello as well. Hello, Ben. Thanks for checking in. I've got what we got here. Ellen stopped working from someone. And Andrea is basically checking in, and she is saying, tracker versus fixed. What's the thoughts? And obviously she's referring to mortgage terms. It's a difficult one to answer. What I will do to help you out though, Ben, is I will, because I like to click on buttons while we're live, I will give you the rates of the week as of yesterday. This is to talk through what's your view on it. That's a really tough question, but what do you think? Would you be going tracker or would you be going fixed on the mortgage rates?
I would, me personally, I'd probably be fixed just because I'm a bit of a stay safe. But if that question, we get that question a lot, and I think I would always say to go to somebody that knows their stuff inside and out, like a mortgage broker that we recommend, which is why we partner with people like us that know their stuff inside and out. But from it is very subjective. It depends your situation. It depends who you are and where you're at. But for me personally, I would go fixed. But there's still advantages to going tracker. I know that's a very on the fence answer, but it is very hard to be specific on such a question like that because it depends on everyone's situation. Best thing for me is to get the right advice from a broker first.
Yeah. Some interesting rates there. We put these rates on every couple of weeks, and before we were looking at that middle column there on the 5-year fixed deals, nothing was sub 5%. Most of them were 6 or high 6s. So we have seen about 1%, 0.75 of a percent reduced across the board, which is obviously very good to see. So that's where we sit on the mortgage rates. Sanjay, talk to me.
Full disclaimer, Andrea. Hello, Andrea. Thanks for tuning in. She's one of our clients. We're selling her home and helping her move. She's actually using Uncle Dave for her mortgage. So, yeah.
There you go.
Well, she knows the answer. She knows the best place to go, and that is to Uncle Dave. I'm just checking, Ben. Me and you are the parents in the house. Do you have a child called Isaac?
I do. Yeah, he's watching. Hi, Isaac.
That is good news because Isaac's watching. But I needed to check that before putting that on, just in case there was an awkward moment for one of us.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, that's one of the ones I know I've got. Yeah, that's true. Hi, Isaac.
Yeah, that is good news because that could have been a very cryptic, awkward moment for all of us involved there. Right. This is a good question. This is from Ellen. She's not working. She legitimately wants to know the answer. What advice would you give to someone who has lost their buyer and is desperate not to lose the house they have found to buy? So they're back to square one. They've got a house. They want to buy it. They've lost their buyer. What do you do next in that situation? Who would like to answer that?
No one. I've done the last two, chaps. Gone.
I know why she's asking this because it's probably we've got a client. Unfortunately, this is a similar situation. So yeah, I can give an answer, but I'll let someone answer. It's a fact.
Well, I think there's a couple of things you can do here. Obviously, you need to make a decision based on why did the buyer pull out. So is there something you need to do as a result of the buyer pulling out? Was it just bad luck? Did the buyer lose out because of their mortgage offer? Something along those lines. But I think seasonally, things change all the time. So the first thing you got to do is look at your marketing and make a decision on whether you need to, I don't know, potentially change the marketing, freshen it up. Look at obviously the the weather, does anything need to be done differently there? Is there anything that needs to be done around the seasonal stuff and the videos and the campaigns and targeting of different buyers? Or is it an estate agent thing? Do you need to freshen up there if you're on with a different estate agent? And then internally, Elliot, I would imagine there's quite a few good tips that maybe you could have for someone to make their house look as good as possible with only spending a couple of £100.
Yeah, I mean, we see lots of tips when we go around our new build show homes that we do show home tours for. And there's just lots of little kind of house doctrine tips, like just have a look around. Does the paintwork need freshening up? Could you look at maybe doing carpets? Depersonalizing is a really big thing. If you've got, I mean, it's nice to just kind of suggest who might live in a property. If you've got too many family photos, it can seem a little bit personal. Also have a really good tidy up and a really deep clean, because sometimes we all do it in our homes. We kind of live with things that are kind of that need fixing, unfinished jobs. Just get them done and completed.
Sorry, I was on mute then because obviously someone's joined me that was crying outside, which slightly put me off, I must admit. But I did say it before I went live. I've got the kids on my own, as does potentially Ben as well. So just trying to get everything settled. We've got some more feedback on the rates things because earlier on, Andrea said tracker versus fixed. We gave a little bit of an opinion. Darren's jumped on, who is an estate agent himself. He's given his sort of take on it as well and said, fixed, so much can happen in 2 years, good or bad. It's best to know where you stand. So he's very much in agreement with you, Ben, on that actually the best thing to do is just know where you stand month by month, right?
Yeah, 100%. Play it safe.
Yeah.
What have
we got here? We've got John and Paul on YouTube. Loving these questions tonight. Is between now and Christmas a good time to sell?
Yes.
Sanjay, talk to me.
I'm sorry, your children are making me laugh. Hello. Everyone say hello. What was the question?
Sorry. A Lily. That's what's going on
What was
here.
the question? Is between now until Christmas still a good time to sell? Who shouted yes? Ben. Yeah, do you know what? I think the reality is, and I was actually having this conversation earlier with a client. I said, look, if you want to sell, if you want to move, if you want to engage in the process, first of all, you need to be mentally in it. If you're not mentally in it, then don't do it. That's the facts, in my opinion. But I think there's still buyers out there, and I felt there is still quality buyers out there. So if you want to move, make it happen. Yeah, absolutely.
I think the evidence is in the data that we've said. Buy demand is up, which is great to see. Mortgage rates have come down. I do think a few people have held off over the last couple of months, just waiting to see when normal is going to arrive. I don't think we're going to see normal for a period of time, but it is nice to know that things are moving. Things come on, things sell, and that's kind of as normal as it gets in the housing market. So to answer your question, and here's my tip. October is a fantastic month to sell. Always has been, always will be, as was September. The middle of November is also really, really good. When it gets into December, let's just take the stapler off the child. When it gets into September, when it gets into December, that really is when you, as a buyer, have got an unbelievable chance because the people on the market are really good quality and the people on the market are serious. So as a buyer, December is a great time to get something secured before the crazy start of the year. And yeah, that's what I would say. Sell now and be the buyer in December that everyone wants. Right, Ben, give us a little bit of a wrap up. Well, I'm just going to do some parent jobs. Talk to me about Swindon. How are things looking in Swindon? Over to you.
Yeah, Swindon's been great. We started back in February. Obviously, Elliot, you're on the start of the journey. Sanjay's seasoned. We're sort of coming up a year, which is just crazy. But the market over here has seemed to have like really taken off all of a sudden. That's why I agree with that buyer demand going up. And we've seen a big uptake in buyers registering. Definitely a big uptake on houses coming to the market. I'd say viewing levels are down over here. I don't know how you guys are finding that over your way, but we're getting a lot more inquiries. But maybe that comes back to your point, Sanjay, where you say it's the quality. We're getting chalk and cheese down here, and obviously we only put the the good ones in front of our clients. So viewing levels are down, but inquiries are definitely up for us. So yeah, it's been good. We're looking forward to the end of the year.
Whew, and we can breathe again after I've stopped being invaded. So thank you for bearing with me. This is one I want to talk about, and I'm going to chat through this with you first of all, Elliot. So it's a new trend. This was the phrase, I've coined it, marathon mortgages.
I quite like
that,
actually.
Yeah.
That's
well,
a very
as a
Ian
runner
phrase.
myself, as a runner, it stuck out to me. It was clickbait directed at me, I think. But let me explain it. So marathon mortgages are the new trend, and this is where buyers that are around 30, in that kind of early 30s to early 20s, are now looking to get their fixed term mortgages increased to 35 or even 40 years rather than the 25-year average that over the last couple of decades has been the norm. And the reason they're doing that is so that they can get the house that they want, maybe slightly bigger than an initial budget, and make it affordable monthly. Personally, I think it's quite a good idea how we sit at the moment. You can always change the term later on, but they're calling it marathon mortgages. It's helping people come away from renting and be buyers. It's helping people move out of home. It's making it affordable. And I quite like the idea of it. What's your thoughts on it, Elliot?
I just think it's a natural progression because we're working longer now. I mean, the age of retirement, sadly, is going up. We're all living longer. People can afford to take on these so-called marathon mortgages and have all the benefits of being a homeowner and not someone that's renting for until they're 75, 80. So I think it provides a good opportunity to just get on the property ladder.
Good points. I might be getting invaded again in a minute. FYI.
I think you will be. That's cool.
Yeah.
We haven't seen your hands. Are they covered in staples? Sorry.
Yeah, I was attacked with staples stapled to the chair. What's your thoughts on that, Sanjay? Do you think that's the right thing to do? If you're a buyer, do you think get on the ladder now and just be in a position where you can make it affordable effectively is what you're trying to do, right?
Yep. I think if you're a first time buyer, you've got to remember, and I say this and I advise first time buyers as well, you're not going to be in that home forever. It's very, very rare that you're going to be in there for the whole duration of your life. So you've got options. You're going to be in there realistically between 2 and 5 years. That's the average. I obviously speak to clients. So yeah, absolutely. I think if there's an option, just get on the ladder, which is probably the most important bit, and spiral your way into a lovely set of homes for the rest of your life.
It'd be a good uptake in Bracknell, I would assume, for that type of mortgage, as it would be down here.
Yeah, massively, yeah.
Darren, that's watching, has asked. He's asked a really good question, actually. So, would you recommend to a client to market their property in December or hold off for the new year, but maybe go live between Christmas and New Year when Rightmove is notoriously said to be the most online or busy online period of time between Christmas and New Year? We spoke about this last year because it's something that kind of Boxing Day boom or Boxing Day bonanza. And Sanjay, what we agreed was when you're ready to market, you market. If you want to stand out from the crowd, market in December, because people are actively looking in December. It's not like buyers go, okay, it's the 1st of January, I'm going to buy a house. The ones that are interested, they're looking on Rightmove now. Absolutely. So to beat that crowd that you sit in, but also if you are going to take advantage of that window between Christmas and New Year, it's vital that the estate agent is available, Sanjay, right? That's a really important part of it.
I mean, in answer to Darren's question, like if you're going to market between Christmas and New Year, you have to be open to making those inquiries because it's all good and well people seeing it online, but imagine they're calling in, trying to book viewings or sending for inquiries and no one's getting back to them. By the time it gets to New Year, they're going to be lost in the mix anyway. So you absolutely have to be on the ball. And I did this. I remember I did it in 2021, I think it was. And I actually sold 2 properties or agreed 2 offers on New Year's Eve from launching them on Boxing Day. So yeah, you absolutely can. You need to be available. Your agent needs to be available. And just going back to what Ian said, if you're ready to market, you're ready to market, regardless of when it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. So the story behind this, Elliot, is in the sort of Berkshire area, there was a couple of particular estate agents that said, list in December with us, and we're going to launch you on not on Boxing Day. We're going to launch you between Christmas and New Year. I think it was Boxing Day actually. 26th is when it's the busiest time on Rightmove, and they did that, but they were closed until like the 3rd of January.
Yep.
So yeah, that was quite funny. So Darren says, beat the New Year rush, get on in December on LinkedIn. Other Darren says, always open 24 hours. Not sure about 24 hours, but you can always WhatsApp us. We may be in bed. And then he's also said, who's going to call Boxing Day on your house, really? I'll be honest, I saw a property go live. The house that I bought before this one, me and my wife saw it on the 27th of December. We viewed it on the 29th, and we had the deal agreed before, obviously, the turn of the year. So I am one of those buyers that knew we were moving. We were active. We'd been looking for 6 or 7 weeks before, couldn't find anything. And, you know, we were obviously trolling Rightmove between Christmas and New Year stuffed with turkey. So that was what else you're going to do when you're having a food coma on the sofa. And we found our house, and it all went from there. So there we go. In my market update this month, I got an awesome question from Mike, my business partner. We've got a blog out that says 9 questions to ask an estate agent on a valuation. It's on the website if you want to check out the 9 questions if you're thinking of getting valuations. But one question that Mike added to it on a LinkedIn post, and I really liked it. The number 1 question, and this is a seller asking an estate agent this, if you had £400 to spend on my house, what would you do?
Oh, I like that.
I thought it's a good question, because you're going to find out a lot about the estate agent in that answer. And I know, Elliot, for you and Matt, one thing that you really want to bring to the Shropshire area is that honest, authentic kind of opinion on someone's property of how you think it would be sold for more money. Absolutely. And that's a question that you would relish, I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, even now I've been looking on the Rightmove to try and find these properties that have been stuck on the market a long time, that perhaps are crying out for an agent like one of us and what we do. And there are a few things that I would definitely have recommended to change. Like, for example, in one house, there's a massive bright pink carpet, which is good for Avocado branding, but I think it really is going to put people off. Or, for example, it has a bath that's not really functional for most people. So therefore, you could, for example, change the bath or just give things a bit of a lick of paint, just update things. There was a tree right in front of the best shot of the house. I would have recommended cutting down the tree to get a really good photo of the exterior of the house. Just a few simple things. Just improving the curb appeal is going to make an awful lot of difference.
Those little things make a huge difference, don't they, Sanjay? I know kind of you guys in Bracknell, whenever you're looking at your video shoot, you know, you're almost sometimes restaging the house a little bit.
Can I tell you a little story? So this just sums up your question, right? So myself and Matt was on a appointment yesterday. We were getting all the photos and video of a new home coming to the market, so can't be seen anywhere yet. And Matt, he was in the middle of doing the photos, and he bumps up to me and he goes, Sanjay. I said, what's up? It's like, what's wrong? It's like, because it was almost like something was wrong. He goes, are you? Obviously, he's just come from an agency where he worked for 12 years for a high street agent. And he goes, Sanjay, he goes, never seen clients like go to this much effort to get the house ready. They've redecorated ceilings, they've redecorated wallpaper, they've decluttered pretty much the whole house. He was like, I've never seen this before. And I was like, what? I said, what are you talking about? I said, this is normal. This is how it should be done, because ultimately you're going to get the best result. And it was really interesting that the fact that he's 3 months into this business with me now, and he said that, and he's like, he was baffled, completely bamboozled at some of the clients that are going to so much effort to get their home ready for marketing. And that is where the clients are going to win, not us. The clients are going to win. And I love that. And yeah, I thought that was really interesting that he whispered it to me.
And what a difference it makes when a client, not just for the photos and for the video, but for the viewings, which inevitably is where people are going to buy a home, is on the viewing. And just spending 400 quid, 200 quid, 300 quid, 500 quid on your property, you know, having a handyman for a day might cost you 250. But think of all the things, if you had a whole day for a handyman around your house, think of all the things that you could get done. If you went into, I don't know, Next, or if you went into any little home store, you know, Home Sense or somewhere like that, with 200 quid to just get a few things freshened up, tweaked and changed. You know, I always say about the 10% move out rule, get 2 cardboard boxes before you start viewings, 10% move out of your home. If you've got 6 family photos on the wall, drop it down to 2. Little things like that will just depersonalize it without totally taking the character away from the home. And I think that's the advice that we would all give in that situation. And we would always be honest, you know, £400 can go a long way on getting a property looking as shiny and as fresh as you want it to. And the last house that I sold, I remember just doing that on the weekend before it went online. And I kind of fell in love with the house again. You know, I was like, oh, this is a really nice house. I don't know why I'm moving. And that's what you want to feel before you put your house on the market, I think. Would you agree, Ben?
Yeah, 100%. And especially for what we do and how we do it, just a lick of paint, if nothing else, can make a huge difference. And it can end up getting you more money. So why would you not invest in that, I think?
Do you know what's really funny about that, Ben, is that I recently asked one of my clients to repaint their whole house because I hadn't repainted it in 13 years. And I said, do that. You're going to win. You're going to get the best buyer at the best price. And ended up doing an open day and getting £5,000 over asking price. The painting cost them £2,000. So
yeah,
it's
it. Yeah, there's I think it's probably the things that people wouldn't think to invest in, but it does actually make a massive difference.
Yeah, Darren mentions first impressions count. Loads of content been done on that over the years, and totally agree. Having the driveway de-weeded, the leaves, you know, swept before, making sure that the front garden, if you've got one, is looking tip top. Get the cobwebs off the door, you know, make sure people aren't walking into cobwebs, makes a huge difference. So some great questions tonight. Thank you everyone that's joined. We've had Darren Hunt, we've had Darren Winter, we've had Rob Brady said hello, mentioning when the mini-me's arrived. We've had John and Paul vlogs on YouTube. I'm going to check that out and give those guys a follow. Thank you for joining us. We've obviously had Ellen, the Pinata Queen, which is a story for another day. Andrea as well, checking in with some great questions too. Chantel has highlighted the fact that Ben does have someone who belongs to him called Isaac, which I was very happy about. Ben's checked in as well. And then we also had Ryan and Kim and Kizzy from YouTube too. So, Elliot, your hashtag for Shropshire.
Yeah.
It will trend. What is it?
It's hashtag selling Shropshire. So
Looking
I'm taking inspiration from those shows, you know, where everyone's looking very glamorous and they're selling houses. So unfortunately, Telford's got me, but you know, I can dress up if you want me to. But no, I'm selling Shropshire because it's such an amazing county. There's so much green open spaces, so much of a mixture of housing stock, as I've said before. It really is fabulous. So if you are looking to move from down south further north, don't discount Shropshire.
Perfectly timed there. Right. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for putting up with me with children attacking. I did bribe them on the last one to go and get an ice cream because it was all I could do to stop her from attacking me. So wish me luck, because this 2-year-old's got an ice cream at 6:30 and it's only half an hour until bedtime. So on that note, I'm going to sign out. Ben, Sanjay, Elliot, thank you very much for joining us, and everyone else too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.